Hi everyone, it's Kate from The Fold and I am back this week with the edit. I hope you've had a good week and you're ready to get into a bit of weekend sewing. We've got some great patterns to talk to you about this week, so I'm going to get cracking. So I'm going to start with a new designer that we've got on the site, Emporia Patterns, which is really exciting. They are a British band, so it's nice to have another Brit in there. I'm going to talk you through a few of their patterns. They've got 6 patterns in total. And I'm going to start with my favourite. So the first one that I'm going to talk to you about is the Rowan trousers. These are great if you haven't seen them. So they're PDF only. Sizing is UK 8 to 32, so it's got a really fantastic sizing. And these are a pair of barrel leg trousers. What is interesting about them, if I show you the line drawing, is you can see that they've got a seam running down the front of the leg, which is interesting. They've got these really lovely kind of deep pocket details as well that you can see on the side of the trouser, that kind of scooped pocket, which I really like. And then they have got another lovely detail. They've got elastication at the back of the trouser, which is so great because it just means that it gives you way more movement in. I love trousers that have kind of a flat fronted waistband and then elastic at the back. It just means that you just get, they're just more comfortable. They're just more comfortable. And then they've got that lovely sort of tapering barrel shape that you would expect. So they're really great. So if you are looking for a pair of trousers, these ones are definitely worth having a look at. And I've seen loads of people have made them and really, really love them. Then we've got this beautiful dress that I want to talk about, the Penelope dress. It's PDF only, sizing on it is a UK 6 to 28. This is great. So I featured this actually in the wedding guest edit because I just thought this was such a kind of occasion dress. But also it worked really nicely as a casual kind of summer dress as well. So you can see that it's got this really lovely V-neck front, and the main feature is this enormous statement sleeve, which is just great. Then there's a seam that runs around the waist, and you can see that there are 2 tiers of kind of gathering. You can also make it in a more simplified version as well. So if you want to make the sleeve like a little less full on, and not have it long, and you can see in this kind of check colourway it feels like much more of a casual dress. Then there's a variation where you can make it with a longer sleeve, but yeah, there's quite a lot that you can do with this, and I just thought this was a really kind of good hard-working dress. The third pattern that I wanted to talk to you about from them is the men's Tony shirt. So if you haven't seen this is such a great men's pattern. It's a short sleeve shirt. You can see that it's got kind of a kind of camp style collar, which is a kind of that sits a bit flatter. It's less traditional. Buttons down the front, but it's got like a bit of a vintage feel to it. You can add different types of pockets on the chest as well if you want to. I should have said, so sizing on this, it's chest width, so it's 36 to 56 inches. And again, this is PDF only. But yeah, I really like the proportions of it. And if you are a kind enough person to make stuff for other people, then this looks like a really good tried and tested shirt pattern, kind of summery one. Next up, we've got the most beautiful pattern from Madswick. This is the Beth blouse. So sizing on this is a UK 6 to 34. I'm obsessed with this. I think this is probably my favourite release of the week. So there are 2 different variations and they're quite similar. You can either choose between short sleeve and long sleeve. And the main point of difference in the variations is you can either choose a kind of plain button down placket, or you can have one that's got a little kind of ruffle going all the way down. Now, this pattern is for people who love a ruffle because there is quite a lot going on. There's this beautiful sort of Peter Pan collar, and at the edge of the collar, there is a ruffle that goes all the way around the back. The nice little detail on the back, and I'll show you a picture, is that the collar kind of mirrors itself on the back, so it kind of goes into the middle, which I really love. I think it's beautiful. And then, yeah, there's just very cute little frilly sleeves. It's a lovely, lovely blouse. So if you are looking for something for summer, I feel like everyone should have. It's just so cute, this pattern. So that is there. Next up, we have got a pair of trousers from Notches. They're called the Polara trousers. These are PDF only. Sizing is a UK 6 to 36. These are really great. So they're high-waisted. They've got a shaped waistband. There are pleats at the front of them and they sort of taper down. And I can show you some pictures. You can obviously make these as shorts as well. But I really like that sort of waistband with those pleated fronts. I think they're really nice. Obviously there are pockets, but yeah, this would be kind of quite I feel like these would be a good kind of smart pair of trousers if you work somewhere grown up and you have to wear grown up stuff. This feels like these would be a nice pair addition to your wardrobe. The shorts are really nice too because they sort of the pleats, you can really see they kind of open up and add some real volume to the top of the leg. So yeah, those are great if you're looking for a pair of trousers. Then we've got a lovely pattern from Itch to Stitch. It's called the Simian Top and Dress. Let me show you the line drawing because it's quite an interesting, I guess it's interesting cut lines on it. So you can make it as a top or a dress, as I just said. The dress has this sort of kind of cowl neck. The main detail on both of them is this sort of sweeping seam that comes from the middle of the neckline down to, I guess it's the end I guess it's like upper hip. The cool thing about them is that the dress variation, this seam line then has pockets in. It's quite, I think this would be an interesting one to make. You definitely want to make a toile of this dress because I think there are lots of different points that you'll need to kind of fit properly. I mean, obviously one should make a toile all the time, but you know, that I'm sure most of us are the same now, that if we can avoid a toile, we do. But I feel like this is one that, especially for the dress variation, you'd want to toile. And the top is a really nice, almost like a very simple t-shirt, but with this lovely seam detail. I was thinking you could have a nice play with different fabrics. You could have like a broderie anglaise on the rest of it, and like a, you know, you could have it in a different colour, or you could have it like tonally a different colour, which would be quite nice. So I feel like that top, actually, probably out of the two, I really like that. I think it would be quite a useful item for your wardrobe. And I love like a basic that's kind of got a little bit of elevation in it. Next up, we have got from Coralie Bichasson the Adriana dress, and this is really nice actually. So sizing on it is a UK 6 to 18. So it's your classic summer dress to me. So it's a strappy dress. It's got seams down the front part of the bodice, so you can add some shaping in there and get the fit good. Then the lovely bit about it is that there is shearing around the back of the top of the dress, which means it gives you lots more movement and it's much more comfortable. And then it is a full length 3 kind of tiers of gathering. And yeah, just a really lovely summer dress. I feel like this is the sort of thing that you could wear to the beach, but you could also wear this to a wedding. And yeah, I just think it's a really lovely kind of good classic. That little like sweetheart neckline is really sweet on it as well. So that is there if you're looking for summer dresses. We've got a lovely couple of patterns from Style Arc. So this one is called the Hampton Woven Dress. I don't think this is new to the world, but it is new to us. And I think it's really interesting. So I saw it and I thought, oh, it's a really nice shirt dress. But actually, when I had a look at the line drawing, there's loads of cool stuff going on. So let's have a look at that. You can see that it has got its princess seams. Interesting thing is it's got this lovely kind of chevron seam detail, I guess, that is just above the bust or around the bust sort of area. The other interesting thing is then that is mirrored in the next panel along, and it kind of slants like that, and then you have a panel of gathering, which I think is really interesting. And if I show you the back, then that gathering, so it kind of goes like this and then shapes round the back, which I think I've described that terribly, but if I show you some pictures, you will understand what I mean. I just think it's really clever. I love something that's quite classic with some extra details that you wouldn't expect. Again, you could also play with different fabrics, or if you had a stripe, you could change the direction of the stripe in different parts, which I think would look really great. But yeah, it's a really lovely, lovely pattern. So I should say, I haven't said this, is paper only, and sizing on this is a UK 6 to 32. Then we've got a great pair of simple trousers from Style Arc. They're called the Fifi Woven Pants. I love these. Wide-legged, nice big chunky waistband. Again, it's one of those patterns that has a flat front with an elasticated back, which means they're so much more comfortable when you sit down. A bit more movement means you can eat a large meal and they just grow with you, which is always nice. But and they're cut sort of ankle length. So if you are looking for a kind of wide pair of trousers to make for summer, these ones are definitely worth having a look at. because I like these particularly because I love the wide leg trousers, and there's loads of them that have got elasticated waists. And sometimes I find then you end up with too much fabric kind of around your waist, but I love that kind of flat fronted one. So I think this is a really great pattern. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. Then last but not least, we've got a really lovely wrap blouse from Atelier Dupe. It's called the Trixie Blouse. It's PDF only, and sizing on this is a UK 8 to 26. So it's a cropped wrap blouse, sorry, getting all my words muddled. And it's got two different variations. So you can either have it with a very kind of plain, wide sleeve, or you can have it, let's call it like the Va Va Voom one, where you can add in a load of like a big kind of gathered piece, which adds this kind of amazing sort of beautiful. If I show you some pictures, you'll get an idea of the kind of silhouette. It becomes like a monster sleeve. But I was thinking this would look so nice. So how they've styled it with a pair of kind of wide leg plain trousers, and I feel like it's a nice thing that can really dress up something that's quite simple. Yeah, so it's a really lovely little blouse. You can also make it short sleeved as well. You don't have to have it long sleeved. But yeah, if you like wrap blouses, this one is definitely worth going and having a look at. It's PDF only for this one, and sizing is a UK 8 to 26. So that is it from me. I hope that you found something nice to sew, and I'll be back soon with another video. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye!